Once again, good morning to you all on the fourth day. I'm really happy to be here for various reasons. Actually, in fact, Dr. Santosh has really, nutshelled, what what I was proposing to talk. He was telling, about movement, teaching movement. Economics is a movement. Teaching economics is a big movement because metropolis is going at a rapid speed, right? In a very uh, uh, a different trajectory they are moving in the metropolises, actually, like Delhi University, Calcutta, and other people, right? Actually, teach economics in a very different way, right? We are trying to catch up, right, with them. That cannot be done with individual initiative. He was telling correctly. It must be. It requires a movement, right? Actually, in fact, I'm really happy to be part of this movement because our teacher, right? Actually, we are considered the distinguished teacher, Professor V.M. Pillai, right, as our mentor and the inspirer. Right? Actually, so we both, right, were the greatest admirers of Professor V.M.P. Right? Actually, he's a great econometrician, right? He was the one who inspired us to talk econometrics to the commoners, right? He used to write a lot of equations. I used to wonder, right, whether the people who are away from these numbers, right, we really appreciate and follow his teaching. But most of the time, we used to see among students that his teaching, right, has really gone into people's mind, right? Even though he was he used to talk and write all the equations, right? All his boards were will be filled with equations, but still will appreciate, people will appreciate econometrics, right? So he was the inspirer to us. So yeah, actually it's off. It's So econometrics, we all, I've heard from Santosh that some of you are already studying econometrics at the master's level, right? From MA econometrics, right? How many of you are from econometrics course program? Okay, good. First year or second year? First year, okay. So were you taught econometrics paper? Have they started econometrics paper already? Right? What all the paper you studied in the first year? You studied any paper on econometrics? Basic econometrics you are already taught. Very good. What are the things you studied in basic econometrics? 5 units should be there. 5 units should be there.
Here we follow Gujarati.
Gujarati. Right, fine. So SLRM, MLRM, you would have studied, simple linear regression model.
CLR. Mainly CLR.
Okay, CLR. Very good. Good. Okay, so econometrics, is a methodology popularly adopted in economics, right? In all the economists' work, we'll be using econometrics, right? What do we do usually? Economists, what will the economists will do? We'll theorize, right, what is happening outside, and after that we'll check whether our hunch is correct or not, right? We'll try to theorize, right? We'll try to see the relationship between the different economic phenomena. Then we'll try to check whether our hunch is correct, right? So this is it's about testing theory. Right? Econometrics is used for testing theory. What else would you do? You try to make predictions and forecasting, right? So this is practitioner's issue, right? We'll try to predict. Right? Prediction is it's a very general term, right? Generally used in time cross-section context. Forecasting is is used in time series context, right? Actually, whatever we'll try to forecast or predict, right? For that also you will use this algebraic model. Actually, this will give you the exact number, right, or exact probability, right? We'll discuss about that in the next, tomorrow's class, right? And sometimes, we'll be talking about probability. What is the probability of a person paying back the loan, right? What is the probability that a person paying back the loan, right? Otherwise, we'll be predicting the exact numbers, right? How much would be the consumption expenditure if the income is certain level, right? So this is, another kind of thing. Third most important, work we would be doing is policy analysis, right? We'll create a model, right? This is a model, right? Model means, it's abstract of the reality, right? We'll create the model, right? How would the model variables behave in different situation, right? What if analysis, right? What if, right? What if this thing, changed this much, right? This is no policy analysis. For all the three things, actually I mentioned, three important things. One, testing theory, testing the hunches, right? Secondly, prediction and forecasting, and third is this, policy analysis, right? So this is how we'll be, conducting ourselves in economics, right? This methodology really helps, right? For practicing this, econometric methodology, we require computations. We have to do a lot of computations, right? We cannot do everything by hand or everything with calculator, right? Now this is the age of information, right? We have got, information technology, right? We have got digital gadgets, right? We will be using all these things to do our usual econometrics, right? For that, we require softwares, right? So for that we require softwares. Actually, we use softwares to do all this computations and calculations, right? In this, we have got traditionally we will be having some specialized softwares, right? Earlier, actually early days, we used to have different softwares for different analysis, right? Sometimes, they've made it into a very broad kind of platforms where, you can use all kinds of data, and you can use it for different analysis. But it was unwieldy. So most of the time we will be having separate softwares for separate analysis. For example, for cross section we would be using SPSS most of the time. Right? Most of the time the general software is SPSS. Right? Then then came eViews, right? Exclusive for time series analysis, right? Then came certain softwares like, Stata, which can accommodate both, right? It can do a little bit of cross-section analysis and, a little bit of time series, and sometimes, it can do analysis far beyond, right? Actually, you can use it for panel data analysis, and you can use it for simultaneous equations analysis, right? But the problem is, when you are shifting from one platform to the other, when you are shifting from one software to the other, right, you have to learn afresh, right? You have to know spend another 2-3 months to learn that environment, right? The environment is very completely different. Actually, you can those who have used the softwares would be knowing all these things, right? SPSS, the data construct is very different, right? Very user friendly, but the data construct is very different, very limited also, right? For example, SPSS can handle only the rectangular data. It can only handle the smooth rectangular data. Nothing else it can handle, right? So this is the biggest problem with SPSS, and it can give you results, right? It cannot be reused, right? You cannot you reuse the output you got, right? And then then came there is no tools available in time series, right? So these are all different problems. Then people started to use exclusive softwares, because econometric software. This is a very general statistical software. Econometric softwares, people are looking for. That space was filled by eViews, right? E-views is there. Actually, E-views is a econometrics view, right? So it has got a lot of econometric tools. Whatever we study in our Gujarati book, you can find all those things in E-views, right? But the problem is the structure is very completely different, right? It will not look the way SPSS was looking, right? There you have to define the data frame first. What kind of data frame are you using? Is it a time series data frame, or is it a cross-sectional data frame? Right, all those things you have to specify beforehand. Right, you won't have this rectangular data straight away. And another thing is use is very flexible. Right, you can it will not take just the rectangular data. It can handle any type of data. Right, it can handle panel data. It can handle scalars. It can handle vectors. It can handle matrix. Everything it can handle. EViews can handle everything. Right, but it is a very different environment. The way the procedures are used will also be very different. Right, in EViews, right, the biggest problem is each of the data object. Of course, you can have different data objects in one workspace, but each of the data objects will have different menus. Right, to even to know that, right, your patients will lose out. Right, for every data object, if it's a scalar, you will have different sets of procedures, statistical procedures available. For the vectors, different procedures. For matrix, different procedures. For data frame, you will have the different procedures, right? So so you have a lot of problems, right, using them, right? Stata is little different. Actually, it is it is having all sorts of procedures, right? Most extensive. That is the software that worked on modules, right? That was the software which first introduced modules, right? You can go far beyond what is given in the menu, right? So Stata was providing that window, right? In fact, that liberated many people, right? Right, because you have to use very limited procedures given by the softwares, right? So Stata has liberated all these things, right? People went into Stata, but the biggest problem with Stata is it is a proprietary software. It is a proprietary software, commercial software, right? Everything has got its own limitations. Actually, especially the capitalism has got its own limitations, right? So it will go by profit, right? It will not it will not be bothered about the academic interest of the researchers, right? It will be giving the procedures which are mostly used by many, right? Which can increase the profit. So naturally, there will be a time lag, right? The phase of the researchers and the availability of procedures, right, will have some lags, right, in the commercial softwares, right? So apart from other limitations, right, you have to shift from one to the other, right? This imposed another problem, right? One, you have to pay extra penny. Secondly, you have to wait till the procedure comes. Actually, it will come after 10-15 years, right? Recently, I was talking with Santosh, right? Bayesian econometrics is one area which requires a lot of attention, but it never took off due to the users availability. Actually, people don't look for standard Bayesian procedures, right? Very limited number of experts available for Bayesian econometrics, and so there is no package available in Stata, right? So I'm just telling you one example, right? One problem. So this is the context in which R has come, right? R is completely free. One thing. Secondly, the gap between what is required and what is available is very minimum, right? So whatever you study in your latest journal article, right, will be available in R, right? What is the secret of it? Secret is very simple, right? As you publish your article, you can publish your code in R, right? As you publish your paper, you can publish your code also, right? It is very flexible. It is not that it is not standalone, mind you. It's not standalone, right? You can club your code with other packages. You can club your code with other packages, and functions available in other packages, right? So naturally, right, your work is very limited, but still you can bring out one package, right? So you get double credit, right? One, you are publishing your article, and second, you are publishing your codes as package also, right? So it provides for all these things, and citation you get, right? Academic recognition you get. So due to that reason, right, many people have joined that movement, right? Software, free software movement, right? Many people have joined, and they've made this as a common framework or template for most of the modern econometrics analysis, right? Of course, we are going far beyond. Sometimes people say we require more robust than R, but it will take some time, right? In fact, they are pitching another software called Python, right, as an alternative to this, but still it will both the domain they operate is very different, right? The Python is operating in the analytical domain. Econometrics is still dominated by R. In fact, R is a universal statistical platform, right? The econometricians also participating in it, right? So it provides a large variety of packages, right, handling large type of data, right? So it is a one-stop solution to most of our problems. You need not have to look for other softwares, right? You need not have to look for other softwares. You need not have to see whether should I look for cross-section analysis with other software, time series with another software, this panel data with another software. No need. R can handle all types of data. R can handle even sometimes we were working, right? Actually, our students were creating this Venn diagram, right? Venn diagrams with R. You can use this R for text analysis also, right? Word cloud, right? You should have seen a lot of word clouds. The images will be created with sentences and words, right? Word cloud. Even word cloud can be done with R, right? It's a very universal computing platform, right? So we can greatly benefit out of it, because if you study one software, end of it, right? You can do everything with computational things, right? So R is very, very important. Actually, this is the most updated statistical platform available to us right away, right? So learning R is very, very important. What is the biggest difficulty with R? Right? You would have seen, right? What is the difficulty? Right? You would have seen, for 3 days you had already studied, you are acquainted with R. What is the problem you saw? You can list, right? What are the problem? Common problems. I'm not getting, actually some any mic is there? Come near and tell me. What is that? I'm not getting. Yeah, fine. Okay, okay. So case sensitive, I understand. The package. Now, one by one, little loud. Yeah, menu driven, yes. Not GUI, right? It's a CLI, right? Command line interface, not a graphical user interface, right? That's the thing. This is the most frightening things, right? Half later, I was just mentioning Santosh. You need not have to worry about all these things, right? These days we are living in the era of Chat GPT, right? Don't worry about that. You can supplement the Chat GPT with R, right? Most of the things, most of your problems in R is solved with Chat GPT, right? So you can effectively use ChatGPT and make the best use of R, right? Actually, I do my R analysis with the ChatGPT, right? I won't do anything without ChatGPT, right? It's very easy for me, right? I can relax. I can tell ChatGPT to write a code, right? I want to import a data from somewhere, right? I just want to I want to have that code, right? Usually, we have to remember it, right? If you use, quite often, we can remember. Otherwise, we'll tend to forget. Right? Teacher also one semester only, I have R, but most of the time I will be doing something else, right? I'll tend to forget, right? What to write, read dot CSV or read dot table, right? I'll suddenly forget, and these problems will occur to us also, right? Though even the people who are using, right, R frequently will tend to have this problem, right? Don't worry, right? All these things will be taken care of by ChatGPT, right? ChatGPT is the wonderful partner for you to handle R. So don't worry about that, right? So this is the problem. But what is the advantage you have? You would have seen the advantages also. What are the advantages of R compared to other softwares? Little louder. I'm not a Jim Carrey, carrying this, here to you, to your mouth. What is that? Any advantage you saw in R? What are the advantages? What are the common advantages? What did they say? Free, fine, very good, absolutely free. What else? You can mention that in your paper, right? You use this package, and in the package this function, right? Main problem with R is affluence, right? You have, for one analysis, you will have multiple functions in multiple packages, right? So you don't have scarcity problem here, right? Economists worry is solved, right? You have aplenty, right? For the same analysis, you have multiple functions in multiple packages, right? Apart from it, they will give you the exact book also, reference book, which book, right, they referred to write this code, which formula they used, which algorithm do they use, right? Everything will be given, right? This is not the case with other softwares. Right? They would not tell you which algorithm they used. Mind you, you have hundreds and hundreds of algorithms for for calculating the inverse of a matrix. Right? Econometricians should be knowing the importance of finding the inverse. Most of the estimations are done with some inverse matrix only, right? Multiplication with some inverse matrix, right? So inverse calculations are done with large number of algorithms, hundreds and hundreds of algorithms, right? Mind you, right? Each of the algorithm will give a different result, right? We'll be assuming certain basics, right? The softwares, the traditional, proprietary softwares will not be telling you which algorithm do they use. But here, everything is transparent. Everything is transparent. You can, in fact, compare, right, why you are getting this result, right? You can check it, right, by hand, whether the problem it is giving you the right answer, right? All those things can be done, right? So this is one advantage. Secondly, it is mostly updated. Actually, in fact, tell you, these days, this bootstrapping, it's a very important test, right? For everything, this bootstrapping tests are available, right? This is a distribution-free test. Right? There is no distribution, assumptions, right? So your
Recently in SPSS they are started to
they started to, right? They are slowly introducing, right? Bootstrapping, all those things, they are introducing, right? Here you can do everything, right? Everything, right? With this distribution free test if you want, right? So these are all the advantages. Lot of packages, right, can handle lot of data types, right, with same template, That is the biggest advantage, right? Many packages are available, many processes are available, but the procedure is the same, right, for all kinds of things, right? So you need not have to look for other softwares beyond this, right? One-stop medicine, one-stop solution for all your computational needs. This is the biggest advantage of all, right? It has some problems, right? Definitely it has got some problem, right? Case sensitive, right? You have to know the syntax, right? That is another problem. Yet another problem is you should know exactly what type of input should I have to give. Input, right? Because it will take different inputs, right? What is the problem here? For other softwares, input and output is very clear, right? Input will be looking one type, output will be very different. Here, one input will become the output will become input to the another analysis, right? Here it's only the data type. Output is another data type. It will be called list. The output is a object, data object called list. They have two types of prominent data objects, S3 and S4 data objects, right? Those are lists, right? So this list can be used for your further analysis. I'll just tell you, right? Actually, I'll just demonstrate how the output is used back into the analysis. Actually, when we are doing when you are calculating CGR, this average annual compound growth rate, we'll try to use that, right? We'll take one output as an input to the next calculation, right? Actually, we'll do that. Okay, so this is the biggest advantage, right? I'll just quickly go through the data objects available in R.
Can you make it as full screen?
Yeah, I'll do it. So you should know the data objects. Vectors.
For the view menu, I think by hiding that ribbon.
Okay. Right?
Alright.
So first data object is vector, right? You can create vector very easily. You can create vector using a thing called C. So this is not exactly column. This is a combine function, right? Before getting into let me tell you one thing. Actually, R is a base package, right? You can add packages, right? Customized packages for your needs. R has got a base package, right? In the base packages, right, certain functionalities are available, right? So one of the function is creating data objects, right? So this is one data object, vector. Another data object is matrix, right? So this is the data matrix. Matrix, right? Third one is data frame, right? What is the difference between data matrix and data frame? Data matrix only will have numbers, right? Data frame will have column names, column names, right? Captions, it will have captions, meaning variable names, right? Variable names. So data frame is just a modification, some addition of columns, right, with column names, right? So data frame. Usually, we will work with data frames in R, right? So data here means data frames only, right? Data here means data frames. Data matrix with captions are known as data frame, right? How would we keep data? We usually type data in a spreadsheet, right? You type the data in the spreadsheet. What is the prominent data software we use for creating spreadsheets? Excel, right? Excel is the prominent spreadsheet software, right? We use for creating data, right? In the tabular form, right? That can be very easily converted into a CSV file, right? Excel spreadsheet can be converted into a CSV file. CSV is a very, it has got a twin characteristics. It will, for the practical reason, look like an Excel, but otherwise it is a text file, mind you. It's a text file, right? Text file, but holding data in the Excel format, right? So it will have both the characteristics, text characteristics and this spreadsheet characteristics, right? What is the advantage? This is the very primal data object, which can be read into any software, any statistical software. This CSV can be read into. So this is the lowest denomination of a data. This is the lowest denomination of the data, right? So usually people will hold their data in CSV file, right? It is not necessary that for R you have to keep the data in CSV form, right? Any type of data can be read into R. Mind you, even if your data is in SPSS file dot SPV, right? It can read, right? Even if your data is in eViews, right? File, data file, it can read, right? It can read any type of data into R, right? But we require some additional packages to read those data into R, right? So if you want to read an SPSS file, you may require some additional package, right? Getting installed, right? So that is the only thing you have to do. Otherwise, if you are reading only the CSV file, no problem. You can readily read into, right? So another data object is list. As I told you earlier, right? This is a mix of all the data objects I mentioned before, right? What did I say? Right? I was talking about vector, matrix, and data frame, right? It can combine all the things together, right? Here, it can mix any type of data object, right? It's a collection of all the previous data objects, right? List is a collection of data objects, right? Naturally, all your output, right, will be stored as a list only. All your outputs, right? So, individual objects in the list, right? It's a bag like, it's a package, right? It's a suitcase. All the things are put into one big file or suitcase, right? Everything will be kept there. You can mention it. I want number 1 data object named this, right? It will read this, right? So list is a general object, data object, right? All the outputs are stored as lists only, right? Specialized output objects are S3 and S4. That's why your regression model will be stored as a object, mind you. Your regression model, right? You can store the regression model as an object. It will be stored as a list object, right? In fact, this is a particular type of list object, S3 or S4 objects, right? So this is what. So some specialized list objects are there, S3 and S4, right? Mentioning, classifying this list object into S3 and S4 is, is important to display the results, right? In fact, there are objects. Objects will not be readily displayed. You have to use some commands to display the objects, right? For example, if I store an analysis in the regression model, I have to type summary and that list object. Only then it will display the results, right? Otherwise, it will not display the results, right? So it's an object. If you want to see the object, you have to type a command, right? So for listing out, so for displaying the list objects, you have to write a command, right? In what form it should be presented, right? So this is, summary is one important command. Okay, anyway. So this is the data object, right? As we know, we must know the we already know what is package and what is function, right? What is package and what is function? What is your understanding about these things? What is package in R? What do you know about package? Usually, packages will be denoted in a curly bracket, right?
Brace.
Packages, curly bracket, braces. Okay. Packages are fundamental components, right? This contains the procedures. These packages and functions contain the procedures, right? To run analysis, you may require these two, right? In fact, all the procedures available as functions only, right? Sometimes you should know, right, the functions as well as the packages in which these functions available, right? Packages are the bundles, right? It contains functions, data sets, and other pre-written codes, right? So to do an analysis, you need to know both. One, you should know which function would really compute the things you require, and the package this function is contained in, right? Both the things you should know. How do you know this? Very simple, right? Did they tell you how to do this? How to identify? How would you do? How would I do? I would use Google. Right? What would I do? Actually, I'll just go. These days, I don't go to Google at all. I'll go straight to ChatGPT. Right? Darwin-Watson test. R. It tells you. Don't worry, right? It tells you, right? In R, you can perform Darwin-Watson test to check the test for autocorrelation in the residuals. There is a function called DW test, right? Available in LM test package, right? It has given you both which package and which function, right? Next thing is, okay, fine, you know that. What is this, LM test package? What are the things available, right? How would I know, right? How would I use this DW test function? Don't worry. Again, you can go straight to the Google, because it will be a document, right? This each of the package, right, is very elegantly presented in the documentation of R, right? So each package has got a documentation, right, in R, right? I want to read LM test documentation, right? Go to LM test. Yeah. You should know how to read this PDF, right? So each package has got a PDF documentation, right? Don't worry, it will list the packages, it will list the functions available. Just see, this is DW test, right? Go there, it will tell you two things. One, what are the inputs you have to give, right? What is the syntax? What is the order in which you have to give the inputs, right? And what are the output you get? Everything will be written there. Right? Understand, right? Don't ever try to do any econometric analysis without knowing the purpose of it, right? This is this one, this is what the description about the function, right? The LM test PDF contains a description about this DW test function, right? It tells you, right, what is it for? Performs Durbin-Watson test for autocorrelation of disturbances, right? It will tell you, right, what are all the arguments. People know by in computer parlance, people say, in computer science, people say, passing the argument, right? Argument means input. What are the inputs you have to give? Formula, order by, alternate, right? Iterations, exact, all these things. Don't worry about that, right? All these things are explained here, right? One by one, right? All the arguments are explained one by one. Formula, a symbolic description of the model, right? To be tested or fitted LM object. They are telling either you write the formula or you give the LM model, right? I'll talk about LM model later. I'm trying to give you the outline of what it means, like, right? What is alternative? What is iterations? What is exact? Everything is not given, right? Okay. This thing is very important. Value. Value is the output contained in the the objects contained in the output. Objects contained in the output. It contains statistic, DW statistics it mentions. Test statistic means DW statistic. Method, alternative, p-value and data name. Right? All those things are described. Okay. What is the book they used for defining this? They have mentioned the reference. Right? If you don't understand this, go straight to the book, read it. Right? It gives you the full description. Right? What are the books they referred for this one? They'll give you examples also. How to run this function. You need not have to write the function. Copy this, paste it. Right? It will run. Right? This is to get acquaintance with the function. Right? Because as you said, typing it creates a problem. Copy it, paste it. Get the acquaintance, get the feel of it. Then you try to write on your own. Don't try to attempt writing the function straight away. Don't ever do it. That's why they are giving you examples, right? Just copy it and paste it, right? Just see. This is that. You need not have to mention, right, everything as mentioned in the object, right? Actually, in the all the object you need not have to say. You need not have to say everything. All this is the basic essential thing, right? This is the model. This is the model. Y2 tilde x. Tilde means equal to, right? Here x means f of x, right? Function of x. So y2 is written as a function of x. Y2 is a function of x. Means what? Right? Y2 is the dependent variable, right? It has the model as x as the independent variable. Right? That's it. This is the model specification, right? So for each of the functions, they will describe all these things, right, in detail. Right? What did they say? First, they tell you what this function is about, right? Why they write this thing, right? Two, they describe the argument to be passed to run this function, right? what are all the inputs you have to give one by one, right? They'll describe everything. And they'll say, if you run this, what is the output you get? What are all the results you will get, right? They'll narrate it, right? And they'll say how to run this. They'll give an example, right? So with this, you can understand each of the functions, right, for your analysis, right? So this is, for auto correlation. Any other analysis you want to do, you can ask ChatGPT to get the function and the package you require, right? Easily you can get. Then comes an important issue, right? How is the environment operates? How is the environment operates? Mind you, R is a basic package. R means R base package. Here you can install as many packages you want. Install, right? This is the package. If you want to make use of some other function, you have to install the package first. For example, I want to run the autocorrelation test, DW test, right? Darwin Watson test. For that, I require what? LM test package, right? If I want to run this function, DW test function, I require LM test package to be installed in R base package, right? This is first thing you have to do, right? Installing the package, right? So how would you do it? There are multiple ways. One, either you can, if you have internet, straight away you can install it. Huh?
That we have discussed. That we have discussed.
Okay, fine, very good. So straight away you can install. Very important thing is, it will not just install what you ask it to install. It will install all the dependent packages also. You have to keep the patience, because to run the package, it may require multiple functions, right? So you have to, if you say it to install LM test, it will install all the related packages also. As I told you earlier, one certain functions might require the functionalities of other packages also, right? In that case, it will install all the related packages, right? Sometimes it will have problems, right? It will tell you, right? If it did not install some packages, it will tell you, right? This package is required, but I could not install, right? Most of the time, if the error says this function is not available, then you can understand certain package is not installed in this thing. If you rectify it, your problem will be solved, right? So dependent packages are also installed along with this. So people will always advise, if you are using R, people will always advise you to use internet to install packages. Another way is also there. You can download and install, right? That is not advisable, because you will download only the package you require, and the dependence packages sometimes will be missed, right? So you install packages always with internet. That's one thing. Second important thing is, okay, I have installed, right? Would I be able to use the function straight away? Not possible, right? Installation is not sufficient to make use of DW test, right? If I say, no, I have installed LM test package, okay, let me use DW function, it will not function, right? It has just installed. If you want to use the package, people say it's a library. It is a library, right? That library can be used only if you open the library, right? Okay. Anything? I can continue. Okay, fine. So I can open the library, right? So you have to load the package. People call it loading the package. If you want to use the package, right, you have to load it. So two steps are very, very important. Of course, installation is no one-time affair. Installation is one-time affair, but loading you have to do every time. Right? Whenever you are running the function, you have to open it, because it will open only the base package. The functionalities of the base package alone will be available when you load your R. If you open the R, it will load only the functions available in the base package, right? If you want to use the DW test, in this case, you have to load this LM test package every time you run this DW test function, right? So this has to be kept in mind, right? So it is a library, right, taken from outside. So it is an external package. The external package library has to be used every time you make use of the functions available in the package, right? So it's very, very important, right? This is the place where you miss all the time, right? Here in this case, actually this is also a very important aspect. Arguments have to be correctly specified, right? One, the exact type. What type of objects are they? They have to be clearly given, right? If I give, right, the argument for formula as a vector or a scalar, it will not accept. It will show the error, right? Here it clearly say a symbolic description of the model, right? Data type is very clearly stated, right? It's a symbolic, right, description of the model. Means, right, you have to specify a regression, right? If you give any other type, data type, for example, if you give a scalar or a vector or a matrix or a data frame, it will not accept. It will show the error, right? Secondly, there is a specific order. This is called syntax. First, you have to give the formula. Second, you have to give the order. You have to give the alternative, right? Comma, comma should come, right, in order, right? Otherwise, it will not give the result, right? So both the things are very important. Data type and the order in which the arguments are given, right? Both are very, very important. Once it is done, right, you will not have any problem in R, right? This is the problem apart from calling the function. Calling the function means case sensitivity. Even your variables, is very case sensitive. And another thing, is, right, when you are importing the data, when you are importing the data in CSV form, the data will be kept as a data frame, right? The data frame, multiple data frames can be at a time you can work on, right? But if you are using a data frame, the variables in the data frame has to be specified. For example, if I am using okay, let me tell you. Okay. So this is the data, okay, this is the data frame, because it has got a caption. It has got a caption. It has multiple columns, right? Of course, it looks very collapsed, but we can make it into an order. Okay, so this is the data, right? So let me say this is data frame named data, right? I name it a data, right? If I am using certain variables in this data, right, I have to mention two things: the data frame and the variable. That means to mention CPI, I have to mention data $CPI. Right? I have to mention the data frame and the variable. Right? the GDP has to be mentioned as data, dollar, GDP. Right? So you have to mention the data frame and the variable. Right? If you don't want to use every time this data frame, you have to attach the data file. You have to attach the data frame. Right? If you attach the data, then you need not have to mention every time data, dollar, CPI. Right? You can straight away mention CPI, GDP. Right? So if you want to use the variable name straight away, you have to attach the data frame. Right? You have to keep this in mind. Right? So this is it. This is the nuance of R. Right? As a first example, right? Actually, as a first exercise, we will after tea break, we will work on some models. Right? A simple model, one SLRM and one MLRM. Right? One simple linear regression model and one multiple cross section. Right? We will discuss about that. Then we'll go straight away into the specification issues. Right? Autocorrelation, multiplication, multicollinearity, and heteroscedastic problems. Right? I have the data sets. Right? All the Gujarati books only. Actually, I've got the chapters also. Right? In Gujarati. Right? In fact, I was thinking when I was reading this book. Right? Gujarati is has used all the packages. Sometimes it has used spacers. Sometimes it has used strata. Sometimes it has used e-views, right? All the packages it has used. Instead, right, this is the lesson for us. Instead of using all the softwares, had he used R as the base, right, he need not have to move to the multiple softwares, right? He can go straight into R.
Same results also we get.
Same. It has to, right? Actually, one point, I get a very different result. Right, I do only one for this Kochran output. Right, actually I have to check it. Right, in fact, we have to check, why are we getting a very different result.
One given in the textbook and
Yes. Actually, in fact, whatever the procedure, you should not the intercept and the coefficient should not change. Only the standard error should change. Theoretically, when it was changing both. It was changing the values and the standard errors. You have to check it. Actually, in fact, this is the advantage of R. We can check, right? Not just with different numbers. We can check with the references also, right? What kind of package have they used? What kind of algorithms do they use? What formula had they used? All those things can be checked. In fact, we can write a paper on it. So in fact, I was thinking of it. Right? If I get the same results, fine. I'm satisfied. Even if I don't get the results exact, I can write a paper on it. Right? This is the good part of this one. So, we'll do that also. Right? I'll just share one Excel sheet. Right? I have all the data in that. Right? You can convert that first into CSV. Then we can make use. Right? I'll tell you how to read it or read it to R. I hope you would have given exercise in that.
That already we have did.
Okay.
But again, once again,
Yeah. I'll just share. I'll share that data sheet with you.
the data sheet will be available with the participants. So you just need to introduce.
No, one thing I had shared only two files. I think actually data files. Let me check. Yeah. Only three data files I have. I'll give you the entire data set. Right? It has
Same Gujarati data set.
Gujarat data set only. Gujarat data set. I have given the material also. Right? The corresponding materials. Right? Autocorrelation, heteroscedasticity, and
Can you send it right now?
I had already sent you.
That is the descriptive statistics pockets.
No, actually, dockets all are Word files. I'll share. No, other things are all there. This you've got text file, you've got CSV file.
CSV files that I have already shared.
Okay, this one Excel sheet.
All these
And this one is Excel sheet. Now only I'm sharing. Last one. Yeah.
okay, I am sharing right now.
Huh? Yeah.
I'm sharing right now.
Yeah. We will break for some time now. So we require some refreshments. And afterwards, we'll go straight. Okay. Fine. I'll stop here. Any question? So far. Anything to be clarified?
So the data file I have shared. So we will import the same data file to the R.
Yes. Results, everything available in your Gujarati book, right? All the analysis are there in the Gujarati. Descriptions are there in the Gujarati, right? We need not have to have a long discussion on those things, right? So the results and its discussions are there in your Gujarati book, right? You have taken only that data set, right? So it will be very easy for you to follow up, right? I'll just run that in R. Only thing, only innovation I'm doing here is I'm getting the result in R. Gujarati has done everything in eViews, Stata, right? SPSS, right? All those things he had used. Okay. So only innovation is only that.
So this is actually the doc file,
Ah.
the word file.
Ah.
So whether we can import the word table,
Ah.
table in the word format.
Anything can be written to, but no, usually what we will do is we'll copy it and paste it in Excel and make it into a.
Directly whether
We can do it.
yeah.
All the files can be read.
Can you show that?
Yeah. All the files. Anything can be. Actually, I'll just show you ChatGPT. Okay. It's there. It tells you how to. It tells you how to do also. But you require a different package.
Request package.
That's it.
So in the next session you please show.
Yeah, no problem. We can do it. But no, actually, I'm going to do it for the first time. We'll do it. Okay.
So they have to install that package.
Which one? Yes. So either you can install using GUI, right? Go to the packages, install, then it'll ask you which server or mirror we have to use. After selecting it, you can go to the mirror and select the
Then
package.
we can do one thing. We can do another thing. So this thing we can make it as a common. Understand that assignment we are thinking about for the evaluation.
Excellent.
So tomorrow we can evaluate that.
Yeah.
Today you take it as so this text file is given already. This text file is given already. So now we have seen in which manner that text file can be ready to R. So read text is the package that we have seen. So try by yourself by using these codes whether it is possible for you to import this text data into R. And tomorrow we will do so.
Yeah.
So that can be considered as an assignment. I have a so let's see what can happen.
Actually, teachers will have some advantage. Teachers will have some advantage. Easier things they will do. Tougher things they'll ask the students to do.
Actually, the thing is that many of the data is currently many of the big data sets are available as PDF.
Yeah.
Data is
Correct.
available in PDF. So we have to make analysis with that data available in PDF. So how is this possible? Normally it becomes very difficult. We have to use this optical character recognition software.
Yes,
The OCR
yes.
software we have to use so that we can understand the data. So it's an advanced technique. And OCRs are proprietary. It's not free software. So this is the normally that I follow is I use OCR software and directly import it to that. If the method is there, which we can directly import it to us, that would be very useful. So take it as an assignment. So tomorrow morning we will discuss that. Right? It's
Correct. We can read PDF also.
not-
We can show how to. Yeah. Naturally, our ChatGPT will tell us how to do it.
Okay, so first we try to import the text data. So we can have a small tea break.
Yeah.